Has given the Rockies some breathing room. On top now 6-2 thanks to a 3-run shot off Kurt Schilling. And it's on to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Kevin Youkilis lead it off for the Red Sox. Takes the breaking ball for strike one. And Schilling talking it over with John Farrell, the Red Sox pitching coach. 98 total pitches now for Schilling through 5 innings. First two had reached for the Rockies. Then he got 2 quick outs before surrendering that 3-run home run. He almost got out of the inning unscathed. So you mentioned the straight change that time, and something that Schilling certainly worked on. We heard so much about it during the spring and using it throughout the season, but perhaps not as consistently as we saw it early on. As a swing and a miss that time for Youkilis.
This is the straight change, and of course it's supposed to be away, but it stays up in the zone and stays almost middle in, and Harper jumps all over it for the home run. It seems like there have been a number of games that Curtis pitched where we haven't seen a change
right.
up.
That was my point, where he kind of abandoned it at times.
Yeah, and I think depending on the opposition and the hitter is when he pulls it out of the bag of tricks, but that one was not a good one. He knows it. And the 3-run home run. I don't recall many changeups in that last game against Oakland.
This one gets by Atkins at third base down the line. Youkilis headed for second base as Holliday guns it back in.
Now this will be an interesting scoring decision here at Fenway Park. I mean, this is a ball I think that could have been handled by the third baseman Atkins as he goes to the backhand, but it's going to go as a double for Kevin Youkilis. So another multiple hit game for Youkilis gives him 27, which is second most in the American League. Ichiro has 29.
In scoring position to begin things here in the 5th, second straight inning. The Red Sox have had the lead runner on as Big Papi takes a pitch outside. Ortiz 1 for 2 in the game, singled to center field his last time up. He's now hit safely in 11 of the last 12 games. And ahead in the count now, 2-0. Fogg falling behind, 3-0. Last time out lasting just the 5 innings against the Houston Astros, giving up 11 hits and 6 runs. Here he is in the 5th inning against the Red Sox. Leadoff double for Youkilis. Now behind Ortiz, 3-0. There's a strike, 3-1.
And there's action now in the bullpen also for the Rockies. Jorge Julio, the right-hander. Tom Martin, the left-hander. Of course, we remember Jorge Julio from his Baltimore Oriole days.
He's up in the game last night, but did not come into the game. Ortiz after the 3-1 pitch to left, and Matt Holliday makes the catch for the first out of the inning.
Well, tomorrow night at 6, Olympia Sports presents the Boston Globe pregame show with Tom Tarrant and Ted Maka. They'll preview Josh Beckett's attempt at his 10th win against no losses on the season. Plus, Red Sox manager Terry Francona is the guest for our Face the Nation segment. It's all tomorrow night at 6 in high definition only on NESN.
Josh Beckett 9-0 on the season. Matched up against Jeff Francis, who's 5-5 for the Rockies in the final game of this series. And last time got a ton of run support, certainly didn't need it as he was dominant against the Arizona Diamondbacks, but that was the game in which the Red Sox exploded for some runs, something we've not seen a lot lately. They had 10 runs and 12 hits in that game. Otherwise, the Red Sox offense has been kind of quiet lately.
But the nice thing about for Beckett, he pitched it like it was a 1-0 ball game all the way through.
Never lost the edge against a pretty good Arizona Diamondbacks team. And he grounds it at Matsui. Will go to first base for the out there. 2 down. Youkilis moves along now to third base.
Now, we mentioned, this is going to be a tough stretch for the Red Sox because coming off that West Coast trip, they have a nice homestand here. But then again, a road trip that takes you to Atlanta. Atlanta, who we've already seen 2 games out of first place. San Diego, who is in first place, a tie for first place. And then Seattle, who's playing very good baseball right now.
How hard is it to prepare for these teams you don't see very often? Is it difficult from a coaching standpoint?
I think it's a little bit more difficult. Yeah, I think a lot more work has to go in videotape-wise. The scouting reports, they have to pour over, I think, more than, say, for example, the Yankees, who you see so much. I mean, there's no secrets there. They play each other so many times. And these teams that you're not very familiar with, it's extra work. There's no question about that. I mean, those teams in the American League East, they know each other pretty well. They play so much against each other.
Well, Drew batting with a chance here. The runner at third base in Kevin Youkilis. He's down 1-2. They elevate and miss. 2-2 the count. Mike Lowell waiting on deck with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Swing and a miss, and Drew strikes out for the 2nd time tonight. Youkilis is left at third. We played 5. It's 6-2 Colorado. Good to see Joe Stafford enjoying John Denver, as we all do, as Dunkin' Donuts is in its 8th year of hosting local youth groups and charitable organizations in the Dunkin' Dugout, a special seating section at Fenway Park. Thousands of children have had the opportunity to catch a Boston Red Sox home game thanks to Dunkin' Donuts. We're having a good time tonight, despite the fact the Red Sox are trailing 6-2. And a new pitcher is on for Boston as we head to the top half of the 6th inning. It's Kyle Snyder.
It's been a while since Snyder's been in a game. It was the Oakland series on that last road trip. Pick up the loss in that game to run his record to 1-1. Overall, his 19th appearance, all of those out of the bullpen.
Yorvit Torrealba is 1 for 2. The former San Francisco Giant. Doubled in the 2nd inning, grounded out to third base in the 4th. And as one of 9 hits allowed tonight by Kurt Schilling. Schilling 5 innings, 9 hits, 6 runs. The 3-run shot by Brad Hopp last inning. He walked 1 and struck out 5 in the outing tonight, and on the hook as Kurt came into the game. 6-2, and Schilling in his 5-inning effort through 98 pitches. So first couple of innings, settled down and retired 7 straight before running into trouble in his last inning. Torrealba gets a piece, and it's 2-2. Yorvit is from Caracas, Venezuela, and came over from the Seattle Mariners in exchange for a player to be named later in December of 2005. Breaking ball missing, and it's a full count now. And Kyle Snyder allowing the walk-off home run to Eric Chavez on June 4th at Oakland. And took the defeat, first defeat for him since September of last year at Toronto at Rogers Center. 4 hits and 2 runs in 2 1/3 innings in his last 2 outings. It's after he had gone to 5 1/3 scoreless in 5 outings. He walks Torrealba to begin things here in the 6th inning, and we send it back to Tina Cervasio.
Don, we're getting ready for the 6th annual NESN WEEI Jimmy Fund Telethon, which will take place here at Fenway Park on Friday, August 17th. And of course, it'll be over 18 hours of raising money for the kids of the Jimmy Fund Clinic at the Dana-Farber Institute, and today Tom, Karen, and I had the opportunity to spend some time with these kids that your dollars will be going to not only raise money for cancer research, but some of these children their parents cannot afford the treatments that they need to survive. And today I met 5-year-old Dario, 14-year-old Chris, 19-year-old Jackie, Abby, Charlie, so many other amazing kids who are fighting every day to beat cancer, to get back to what they love, from playing baseball and field hockey to coming to Fenway Park. So be sure to raise those dollars. And last year, that telethon raised almost $3 million for the Jimmy Fund Clinic. So all of your dollars go to those kids. And when we talked to their parents today, Tom and I, every one of their parents said miracles happen at the Jimmy Fund Clinic, and they are so grateful. It is the best treatment center really in the country.
And growing every year, Jerry. I know you and I were both there last year, and it is amazing how it has grown every year, but it's because of Red Sox Nation, everybody out there who contributed last year. And the day-night doubleheader against the Yankees, it is this season, August 17th, and it's another day-night doubleheader. This time it's against Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and we hope that those of you who so generously gave last year will do it again this year, and hopefully getting up over that 3 million mark, as they certainly need it at the Jimmy Fund.
Well, the thing that always strikes me, Don, when we visit there is, first of all, how painful it is to see, children suffering. But on the other hand, there is so much support in that place, and you almost leave with an upbeat feeling. I mean, it's amazing that the work that the people do over there, from all the nurses to the doctors, and the confidence they give to the families and the children who are there. It's just it's unbelievable. And it's a good thing we have a day-night doubleheader, because that'll keep more money piling in.
The thing that amazes me is the strength of those kids.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Yep.
Well, it's back-to-back walks here, allowed by Kyle Snyder, as John Farrell head to the mound. First two have reached. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by 1408 in theaters everywhere, Friday, June 22nd. Acura. And by LP Weatherbest.
Well, we'll see now how the Rockies play this. The first two men on, nobody out with walks, and now Taveras, who is a very good bunter, coming to the plate. Let's see if he's sacrificing to try to push a couple of men into scoring position. Red Sox certainly expect that, as they have both Lowell and Youkilis in tight on the corners.
Taveras with an infield hit in the first. Since then, he's flied to right and grounded back to the mound. He is showing bunt, taking ball one.
And at times, too, when he's sacrificing, he bunts like he's bunting for a base hit. Maybe he's more comfortable doing that.
Pops it up, and this will get back into the seats. Did you get out of your rhythm sacrificing rather than bunting for a base hit at times? Did that ever take you out as a good bunt guy that you were?
No, not at all. Two different styles, obviously. Yeah. Trying to drag a bunt for a base hit, or dropping down a third base line, and then really giving yourself up by spinning around and dropping down the sacrifice.
Would you say the drag bunt was your best?
Yeah. I couldn't bunt the third worth a damn, and they all played me in over there, and I don't know why I couldn't bunt that way.
Big beach ball coming onto the field down the left field line. They'll run it down. Well, the first two have walked here for the Rockies in the 6th inning. Torrealba and Tulowitzki. They're at first and second. The 1-1 to Taveras. Gets the bunt down. Snyder to first, and the out there. The runners moving along. And the sacrifice will go 1-4 that time, with Cora covering at the bag at first.
Well, job done. Even with 2 strikes.
Taveras dropping the bunt down, and again, it doesn't look like, you know, the typical traditional square round sacrifice bunt. He's obviously more comfortable and like he's bunting for a base hit. And drops it down in front of the plate. No play at all other than first base, and Snyder had to hurry to get it there.
So second and third, that'll bring the infield in for Boston as Kaz Matsui, who's already got 2 hits tonight and an RBI, stands in. A breaking ball in there for a strike. Kaz Matsui from Tokyo, Japan. It's acquired by the Rockies from the Mets in exchange for outfielder Eli Marrero on June 9th of 2006, and then re-signed this past offseason.
It's funny, you know, you watch him and he almost has the same type of stance as Hideki Matsui.
But the bat control that we've seen reminds a little bit of Ichiro.
Yeah, exactly. He's not a Matsui type of hitter, but when he gets prepared to hit, it's almost the same type of a stance.
Popped up. The infield was in, so Lugo ducks back. Wynn playing with it, but he makes the catch for the second out. It's a big out for Kyle Snyder. 2 down.
Sure is. Now the infield can move back for the Red Sox with the 2 outs. Very good curveball that time from Snyder to get that pop up from Matsui.
Javier Lopez up in the Boston pen. After going up and back and having options left to go back, they survived the last exchange with Mike Timlin being activated on this last road trip in Arizona. Of course, J.C. Romero being designated for assignment, largely because of the great work that he had done in some tough situations. Farrell's on the phone as Snyder missed with the first one. He almost hit Holiday, who almost ducked into the pitch.
Now you got the lefty coming up next in Todd Helton.
And Lopez getting loose in that Red Sox bullpen.
Two 2-0 now to Matt Holliday. Lopez is no longer alone in the Red Sox pen as Joel Pinheiro alongside now, just starting to warm up. Getting through Veritek briefly, but no advance at third base for Torrealba. Well, Snyder walked the first 2 batters of the inning. The sacrifice bunt by Willie Taveras, and then Kaz Matsui popping out. So it's second and third, 2 down, but now Snyder is behind Holliday, 3-0. And Todd Helton waits on deck. Put him on here as he heads down to first base, and here comes Terry Francona. He's got Javier Lopez ready to go with Helton coming up. The Rockies will have him loaded when Javier makes his way in, as this call to the bullpen is brought to you by your New England Ford dealers. Have you driven a Ford lately? We'll come back after this. 2 outs in the 6th at 6-2 Colorado.
Well, tonight after our Red Sox coverage, stay with Nesson for Sports Desk with Hazel May, presented by FW Webb, home of Frank Webb's Bash Centers. Visit them at fwwebb.com. She'll bring you Tina's one-on-one conversation with Sox VP and General Manager Theo Epstein. Plus, You'll hear from Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson on the eve of the U.S. Open Golf Championship at Oakmont Country Club. Catch it all tonight after our Red Sox coverage with Hazel May in high definition on NESN.
Well, the Red Sox trail 6-2, and the Rockies are looking for more. They've got the bases loaded, 2 down, and into the game is Javier Lopez.
Lopez's 21st appearance in 14 innings, 11 hits allowed. He has walked 7 and struck out 10 on the season. Against lefties this year, Lopez has only allowed a .219 batting average against. Lefties is 7 for 19 batting average against. Lefties is 7 for 32. For every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings, the Sox get a save. CVS Pharmacy will donate $500 to Children's Hospital. CVS Pharmacy is the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox.
Well, it's Yorvit Torrealba at third base, Troy Tulowitzki at second base, and Matt Holliday at first base with 2 down here in the 6th inning. Javier Lopez. And it's ball 1 to Todd Helton.
One thing Helton has been able to do throughout his career is hit lefties. He's a .310 career hitter
Against left-handed pitching.
His walk, grounded out, flied out. Ball and a strike down to Todd Helton. Strike 2, and it's 1-2. Javier Lopez has allowed just 2 earned runs in his last 11 outings. 2.70 and 6 2/3. Helton doesn't chase, and it evens up now 2-2. Lefty's hitting at .219 against Javier Lopez, 7 for 32 so far. Kyle Snyder going 2/3 of an inning and responsible for all the men on, as the Rockies have the bases loaded, 2 down here in the 6th. To left field. Manny was shallow, and he's not going to get it. It's by him to the track on the wall. Scoring is Torrealba. Tulowitzki is in, and all the way from first base is Holliday. It's a bases clearing double and a 9-2 Colorado Rockies lead.
Well, we mentioned a good hitter against lefties. That ball middle of the plate, slicing it the other way, and I think even if Manny was a little deeper because of the hook on the ball, I should say the slice away from him, I don't think he's going to make the play. The bases are cleared, and now a comfortable lead for the Colorado Rockies. RBIs 30, 31, and 32 on the season for Todd Helton.
The runs are charged to Kyle Snyder. Walk 3, 1 intentionally, and as it works out, they all score. Garrett Atkins, the batter, third baseman, is 1 for 3 in the game, and that swing and a miss evens the count now, 1-1. So Schilling gives up 6 runs in 5 innings. Kyle Snyder in 2/3 of an inning so far, charged with 3 runs. This one is at Lugo. And that'll end the top of the 6th inning, but not before a bases clearing double for Helton scores 3 more, and it's 9-2 Colorado.
WB Mason extra innings in Granite City Electric extra innings extra with Tom Caron and Ken Maka. You'll see Sox manager Terry Francona's live press conference and get Ken's breakdown on Kurt Schilling's performance in Game 2 of this series. It's all right after the game in high definition, and it's on NESN.
Well, it's now 9-2. The Rockies on top in this one as we head now to the bottom of the 6th inning, and a new pitcher on for Colorado. As into the game is Taylor Buchholz.
Yeah, he's made 7 starts this season. In his starts, he was 1-3 with a 5.67 ERA. He's been better out of the bullpen. Overall, his 14th appearance. Giving up a lot of hits, 57 hits in 48 innings. 31 strikeouts, opponents hitting .295 off Buchholz.
Well, he will face Mike Lowell, Jason Varitek, and Alex Cora. And he's on for Josh Fogg, who got to start tonight for the Rockies. With the first 5, giving up 7 hits, 2 runs, walked 1, struck out 4. And has a chance for a victory here tonight. He went the minimum to make himself eligible. And we talked about lack of run support, something that he has had a great deal of this season, leading to the tough record. But he's got a ton of it tonight. 9 runs. It's time now for the Coors Cold Blast, and Mike Lowell's home run back from the 2nd inning. His 12th home run of the year and into the monster seats. Now back to live action, and this one slowly grounded at Helton over his Buchholz for the out at first base.
Well, in case you joined us late tonight, we mentioned earlier in this ball game, if you are a member of Red Sox Nation and you would like to come to a ball game free on Sunday, Tom Werner has volunteered his 4 seats for Sunday's game for members of Red Sox Nation. Now you can still apply as a member by going to redsox.com, and you still will be eligible to win those seats at Red Sox Nation. So we'll have the results on Saturday morning, who the winners are. They will be on redsox.com or the Rimmer Report. So not a bad deal. 4 seats. Tom Werner giving up 4 of his personal seats for that Sunday afternoon game against the San Francisco Giants.
And a chance to see Barry Bonds up close and the Giants.
If you're a card-carrying member right now at Red Sox Nation, you don't have to do anything. If you're not, make sure you get on right now and become a member of Red Sox Nation and have a chance to win those seats.
Is this just the beginning as far as what we can expect from the new Red Sox Nation?
What did I tell you last night, Don?
This is it's happening much faster than I thought. All of this has happened very quickly.
Many surprises. By the way, I did do a background check on you today in case you do apply to be the vice president of Rhode Island chapter of Red Sox Nation.
I was working on my essay earlier today, by the way, but go ahead.
No, you were clean.
Very nice.
Clean.
Broken bat almost hit the pitcher, and it ends up out in left center field. As Jason Varitek's aboard with a 1-out single, second time he's been on tonight, his first hit.
Varitek appears to get jammed by the fastball here. It jams himself. It's right off the label of the bat. It splinters. The barrel goes up over the head of Buchholz. But the baseball up over the head of Telewinski, the shortstop.
So 1 out, 1 on will bring up Alex Cora. How was your first day of having Secret Service follow you around? I know you worked out this morning.
You know, they're very bored because, as you know, I don't do very much.
You don't go anywhere.
You know, they did. The difference was before I went to the health club this morning, they went in and checked out the elliptical that I was going to be working on, and stuff like that. But they find that like at night it's pretty easy. I don't do anything. They'll find the road trip very easy because it's either the room or the ballpark.
They came in before your arrival here today, and they brought a bunch of dogs and stuff and checked underneath the desk here and everywhere else around. Kind of a nuisance, to be honest with you, for the rest of us who work up in the booth, but something we're just going to have to get used to, I guess.
Well, we apologize for that, but that's what happens, you know. They're really nice guys, too. Like, you know, the earpieces and all that stuff.
They look very official.
I got one guy in charge of getting oil for me. You know, in case the mechanical bull needs oil.
Do you make him secretary of oil? Or?
He's just in charge of my oil. That's it. Just take care of, make sure I have enough oil for the mechanical bull.
Well, I'm sure they've enjoyed your huge television from Tweeter in your house, too. That's also a plus as one of the Secret Service guys, as Alex Cora strikes out looking, 2 down in the inning.
Very good curveball shown there by Buchholz as he kind of buckles the knees of Alex Cora.
So 2 down, and Veritek at first base, and here's Julio Lugo.
That curveball from Buchholz, that's a little bit like a Kyle Snyder curveball, isn't it?
Yes. It was not working tonight for Kyle Snyder, at least not for strikes. Lugo to right field as out goes the second baseman Matsui. Long run, hot coming in, but it's Matsui who makes the catch in foul ground that ends the inning. We played 6 from Fenway tonight. It's 9-2 Rockies.
Time now for the Panasonic Plasma replay so you can catch this again in crisp, rich, detailed motion.
And a hop home run on a changeup from Kurt Schilling. Puts 3 quick runs on the board back in the 5th inning. For the speed of sports.
It'll be Brad Hopp who leads it off here in the top half of the 7th inning. Hopp's, Billboards, and Turrialba will be facing the new Red Sox pitcher Joel Pinheiro.
Pinheiro making his 23rd appearance of the season, the 1-0 record, his last coming against the Arizona Diamondbacks. That was on the 8th inning in that game.
That was a hot shot back into the seats on the third base side. Hopp hit the 3-run shot, as you just saw, in the 5th inning. It was his 9th home run of the year after he had struck out and grounded out his first 2 at bats tonight. Joel Pinheiro has allowed just 1 earned run in the last 6 innings. 1.50 ERA in his last 6 games. Twice this season he has worked 2 innings as he strikes out Hopp to begin things here in the 7th inning.
And a very good curveball here. The over-the-top curveball from Pinheiro just kind of freezes Hopp. Second time he struck out, but of course he had that 3-run home run in the 5th inning.
1 down for Ryan Spielborgs, who is 0 for 3 in the game. He's grounded out to second and struck out twice. Schilling got him both times. Kurt ended up with 5 strikeouts in the game tonight. The Rockies on a 6-game road trip away from Coors Field. They took 2 out of 3 from the Baltimore Orioles before arriving here at Fenway. Dropping the first game last night, but bouncing back tonight for Clint Hurdle on top 9-2 as they bat here in the top of the 7th inning. Rockies have won 7 of their last 9 road contests. And still 15-16 now on the road this season. Pretty good pitch, but it's a ball, and it's 2-2. Joel Pinheiro on here for the 7th, has the first out of the inning. Spielborgs now. Torrealba waits on deck. And it's back-to-back strikeouts for Pinheiro. 2 down.
Another good curveball. That's 2 of them to put away hitters here in this inning. Good snap over the topping breaking ball here for the strikeout. Pinheiro now with 13 strikeouts in about 25 innings this season. So 2 away, and it brings up Torrealba.
He has doubled, grounded out, and walked. He has scored 2 runs.
You know, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast Catherine Tappan sitting down with Tina, and of course Catherine's going to be filling in on Sunday. She also is the host of Lights Out
Sunday night show.
Sunday night,
yep.
Which has become a very popular show. Starts at 11:25, and there's Catherine waving now with Tina, and you know your weekend's not over until the lights go out.
Right.
And they go out at Nesson at 11:25 on Sundays.
And then the lights go out at the Remdog household as soon as Lights Out is over.
Actually, I do stay up a little later than
You're
that.
at more after Lights Out, I think.
A little bit later.
Over. So Lights Out, and then how much
But
more?
I do shut the lights off, but I do stay up a little bit later.
To center field, and Coco Crisp coming in. Stays up long enough, and he runs it down. 1-2-3 7th. 7th inning stretch, 9-2 Colorado. Time for a Sports Desk update with Hazel May. Time now for the game summary, brought to you by your local Lincoln Mercury dealers. The Red Sox getting a home run from Mike Lowell. They were trailing 3-0, but he got the Red Sox on the board with his 12th home run of the year. The end of the monster seats, but it's been about the Rockies' offense in this one tonight, as Hop able to hit a 3-run shot off Kurt Schilling, which ended the night for Schilling. Hop with a 3-run home run made it at the time 6-2, as Todd Helton would get a bases clearing double. And the Rockies leading 9-2 now here in the last half of the 7th inning. Taylor Buckholz. Ground ball right side off the bat of Crisp. And Coco with an 0 for 4 night so far tonight, and there's one away.
You know, before the game, the question was asked to Terry Francona about, did you consider putting Youkilis in the leadoff spot at any point over the last few weeks? And he said, yes, we did consider it. He says, but it seems like that's the one spot that he is least comfortable hitting. He says second doesn't bother him, fourth, fifth, sixth, wherever it may be. He says, but he's most uncomfortable in the leadoff spot.
That surprised me, because you think about him and you think about a guy who gets on a lot, but perhaps there's more pressure to get on in that situation. Maybe he has thought, because he's been much more aggressive, I think, over the last couple of weeks, maybe a month at the plate, than maybe he would be as a leadoff guy.
You know, it's a strange thing, but a lot of people don't like leadoff because they don't want to be that first batter in the ballgame. It's very strange, you know, because sometimes you see a lot of pitches, you get back in the dugout, what's he got, how's he throwing, how's the ball moving, and you know, a lot of guys don't like that. But here's a guy as flexible as you can possibly be anywhere in the lineup. He's hit everywhere he's been, but that, as Terry said, that's the one he is least comfortable with. So he did not insert him in that leadoff spot.
And was successful doing it last year.
Yep.
As he takes the strike in the count, 2-1. Am I imagining him being more aggressive at the plate, or is that something you've noticed? As far as swinging earlier in counts and
at
things?
times he has. Yeah, I think at times he sets up pitches. He has a reputation of running counts deep. And I think in certain situations in a game, you know, with some men on base, where they may be thinking he's taking pitches, he's more aggressive in swinging at them.
Well, he's got 2 hits tonight, 2 for 3, a single and a double. And a full count now. Taylor Buckholz is no relation to Clay Buckholz, the great Red Sox pitching prospect. In the center field, as Willie Taveras is headed straight back. The good speed, plenty of time to camp underneath, out number 2. Well, off the top tonight, we talked about the lack of offense for the Red Sox, with the exception of the 10-run game the Red Sox were able to produce on 12 hits in Arizona last Friday night. The other 8 games, well, the Red Sox have been held to just 2 runs a game and a .222 average. They had 5 home runs now. They had 4 coming into tonight, but of course the home run by Lowell. And for whatever reason, the offense all of a sudden not putting together much in the way of runs. Now, keep in mind, coming into this, the Red Sox were 4-4 during that stretch, and it was really because of the great pitching that they have received, and it's balanced out. But this Red Sox offense has been very quiet lately. And only 2 runs in last night's win. Able to win 2-1 behind Wakefield and Papelbon. No strike, and it's 0-2 now to Ortiz.
Now my feeling always is, and even though this has been a bit of an offensive slump, you keep pitching, you're going to win games, because eventually these guys will hit. They ran into some very tough pitching in Oakland. There's no question about that. You get Randy Johnson this past Sunday, and unfamiliar with some of the guys you've been facing so far in this series. That's not an excuse, but that's the way it goes. But if you continue and consistently pitch well, that will turn around.
And they faced a very good pitching staff in Arizona, who is second in the National League, only behind the Padres in earned run average. Outside, Ortiz doesn't chase, and it's 1-2. And through all of it, the Red Sox are 4th in the American League in runs heading into tonight's action. So they've not slipped that much. Foul tip off the catcher and umpire, and it's 1-2. Yankees in the 8th with that 7-2 lead over the Arizona Diamondbacks. And Mike Mussina still in that game for the Yankees, who will have won their 8th in a row if they can hold on to beat the Diamondbacks tonight.
Well, wouldn't that mean that Roger Clemens pitches tomorrow night? He pitched on what, Saturday?
Pettit tomorrow. Clemens will open up the Mets series on Friday.
Okay.
And 2-2. Ball 3, full count now to Ortiz. With Manny Ramirez waiting on deck, 2 down here in the last of the 7th inning. 2nd inning of relief for Taylor Buckholz.
And he can give innings because, remember, he was in the starting rotation.
Back at him, picked nicely. And the throw to first to get Ortiz to end the inning. A 1-2-3 7th. We played 7. It's 9-2 Rockies.
Stay tuned after the game for WB Mason's Extra Innings with Tom Caron and Ken Maka. You'll get the complete post-game reaction from this series, the second game of the series, including Curt Schilling's post-game press conference, plus all the highlights from around the majors on this Wednesday night. It's all right after the game in high def on NESN.
9-2. Rockies on top as heading into the top half of the 8th inning. Joel Pinheiro back out there for another inning. And a line drive base hit for Troy Tulowitzki, who was on for the 3rd time in the game. And let's check in with Tina Cervasio.
Don, on Monday, John Lester was here at Fenway Park and threw in the bullpen in front of Theo Epstein, Terry Francona, and John Farrell. Now, they optioned him to AAA on Monday, and Theo said because John Lester's time on the DL was done, it's time for him to pitch. And Terry Francona hopes that Lester goes out there and pitches in a way that forces them to call him back up to the Red Sox.
The shackles are off. He can go pitch now. He's not on a rehab. Go pitch. And I think it'll be good for him. At the same time, we've been pretty consistent with how we feel about this young man all year. He's been through a fairly traumatic winter. Then he had the little bump in the road with the cramping in his forearm. We're going to make sure this kid's okay.
And since the arm cramping, Lester is still building that cutter back into his arsenal. So when he uses his cutter more frequently and gets his pitch count up, hopefully up to 100 pitches in his next few outings, then you can maybe expect to see Lester around Fenway soon after that.
Okay, Tina, yeah, I mean, it seemed like it was becoming, okay, one more outing. And then it was, you know, when is he going to be up to that certain point? And there seemed like a great deal of pressure, not only on Terry Francona, the Red Sox, but on John Lester. It seemed like every time going out there. So this appears to relieve some of that pressure now. He's just option down there. Work it out. We'll see you soon. You're going to be a big part of this team, but not right now.
Yeah, that has been a major story since the first day of spring training, when, of course, he reported to camp, which was, you know, a surprise to a lot of people. And He's been through a heck of a lot, and the Red Sox, I think, have gradually taken this very slow. He had that minor setback. They want to make sure when he comes to the big leagues, he comes up here with all his weapons.
We'll go to second. That's the only out they're going to get, and it's now first and third with one away. Some defensive changes this inning for the Red Sox, as Willie Mo Pena is now in center field. Coco Crisp coming out of the game, and in left is Eric Hinsky. Manny Ramirez coming out of the game, and the new catcher is Doug Mirabelli. So Veritek out. It's first and third, one away. Matt Holliday, the batter.
And I believe if you're scoring at home, Hinsky in the first spot, Pena in the 4th spot, and of course Mirabelli replacing Veritek's spot in the batting order.
Pitch inside, and it's 2-0 now to Holliday. Pinheiro, who retired the side in order in the 7th, gave up a single to Troy Tulowitzki to begin the inning. An infield hit for Willie Tavares, yet another one, his second one of the night. And then Matsui grounding into the fielder's choice, the foresight at second base of Tavares. So first and third, one down. Already 9-2. The Rockies on top. And there's a strike over the inside corner, 2-1. Remember, the Rockies not to have a hit tonight is Ryan Spielborgs. He was 0 for 4, the designated hitter. And that's 7th. Everybody else got at least one. They have 12 as a team. And this is hit to deep left field. Back goes Hinsky, and it's going to hit off the scoreboard. From third base scoring is Tulowitzki, the 10th Colorado run, and it's driven in by Matt Holliday.
Holliday picks up his first RBI of the night, his 47th on the season, which ties him for the 4th spot in the National League. And of course, his 3rd hit of the night, already leading the National League, coming into the game with a .346 average, so that'll bump up tonight.
Todd Helton, who's been on base twice tonight, walk in the first. He's got it out to second, fly to center, and last time came up with the bases loaded and doubled to clear the bases. In the dirt, gets away from Mirabelli from third base. Comes Matsui, the throw not in time. 11-2 Rockies lead now. Wild pitch, charge to Pinheiro. Holliday moves over to third base. And it's now an 11-2 Rockies lead.
Breaking ball in the dirt. It bounces by Mirabelli. Not all that far, but Matsui hustling down home and scores the run. So the Rockies putting on the offensive show here tonight.
Mike Timlin up in the Red Sox pen. And to be honest, Jerry, I thought this would be more along the lines of where we would see Mike Timlin's first outing, rather than where we saw it in Arizona, which was a tight contest, and of course a throwing error for Mike leading to a couple of big runs in that game as they try to ease him back in.
It's funny when you've been out a long time, as Timlin has been, you come in and you're concerned about the pitching part of it,
But the other things, fielding the bunts, making the throws, it's just things you haven't done in a long time, and of course it hurt him in that ball game in Arizona.
And Holliday at third base, one down, and a 3-1 count to Todd Helton. This is a fly ball down the right field line, and a foul ball for Helton. On the ground up the middle, Lugo ranges, has got it. He's thrown to first in time, but a run scores. And the Rockies take a 12-2 lead as Matt Holliday scores on the ground out by Helton. Helton now with 4 RBIs on the night.
Yeah, the Red Sox with the big deficit playing the infield back, trying to get outs. Helton with the ground ball and picks up another RBI.
Julio was up earlier, and he was back up again for the Rockies, who got 2 innings from Taylor Buchholz. Pitched the 6th and 7th pretty effectively against the Red Sox. Garrett Atkins, the batter, third baseman. 1 for 4 tonight with an RBI. Second most runs the Red Sox have allowed this season in a game. They gave up 14 runs in game 2 of the day-night doubleheader against the Atlanta Braves. The 2-2 on the ground outside of third. Last night was the 13th time in 64 games that the Rockies have scored 1 or 0 runs in a game this season. The 21st time in 64 games, 2 or less. And tonight they're pouring it on. They've only got 12 runs for a guy that they don't generally get a lot of runs for. That's their starting pitcher, Josh Fogg. He's the pitcher of record right now.
You know, Don, we mentioned last night, you know, they're 4th in the league in average in the National League, but they were only 12th in runs and 14th in home runs. But tonight they have put those hits together and added some home runs.
Well, they add 3 runs in the 8th and take a 12-2 lead to the bottom of the 8th. (12-2), the Rockies on top as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's time now for the fan of the game, brought to you by Pepsi. Do we know these guys?
Yeah, I think I know all 3 of them.
Pat Gamere, Mike Berry, and John Martin, who's got love for everybody.
Oh, I thought it was Mo, Larry, and Curly.
You have 2 photojournalists and a very talented producer, and all very strange men in their own way, especially John Martin. 12-2 as we head to the last half of the 8th inning. A new pitcher, and it's Jorge Julio.
Came over from Florida in exchange for Young Kim. That was back on May the 13th. Julio's made 9 appearances in a Colorado uniform and pitched very well.
Willie Pena batting for the first time tonight, and bats in the spot of Manny Ramirez.
There you see the numbers on the season for Julio, but they have been much better with the Rockies. A 1.29 ERA in 9 games for Colorado.
New center fielder now for the Rockies, it's Sean Barker. And for Willie Taveras, and Jamie Carroll is the new shortstop. Strike 3 call. Pena is gone for the first out here in the bottom of the 8th. And 6th strikeout tonight for Rockies pitching. JD's got 2 of those strikeouts. He's 0 for 3 tonight.
Now, when Julio was with the Marlins early in the season, he had some time on the DL with a strained calf muscle. Julio appearing in his 22nd game here at Fenway Park.
So foul off to the left, and it's 1-1. He's held Red Sox batters to a 188 clip in his time here in Boston. As you mentioned, all the times out, 21 career games at Fenway. And it was the closer of the Baltimore Orioles. Kind of had that job taken away from him by B.J. Ryan a couple of years ago. He really kind of fit into the setup role as well as he did as the closer at one time. And certainly we saw his wild moments from an Orioles standpoint. Always could throw pretty hard, but would be wild for the Orioles. And several blown saves. B.J. Ryan then secured that position, then moved to another venue as soon as he became a free agent, going to the Toronto Blue Jays, and of course this year on the disabled list. Ball 4, and Drew is aboard for the first time tonight. It's a 1-out walk.
Barry Bonds and the San Francisco Giants make their first ever trip to Fenway Park this weekend. NESN's coverage kicks off live with Friday Night Fenway, presented by Team Sully Mack at 5:30. Start your weekend early with Friday Night Fenway, because the earlier you turn on NESN, the sooner we can get you into the big game. Friday Night Fenway has become very popular. That's Tom Curran, the host of that show, as he is the pregame show and the postgame show.
Roll batting with 1 out and 1 on. Hard hit, but it's handled by Atkins. The second for 1, on to first, the double play. Once he gathered it, hit so hard he had an easy time at turning it. We played 8. It's 12-2 Colorado.
Stay tuned after the game for Granite City Electric Extra Innings Extra with Tom Curran and Ken Maka. You'll get the manager's assessment of the series opener with Terry's Take with Tina Savasio as part of our comprehensive clubhouse reaction. Plus a preview of the series finale tomorrow night as Josh Beckett goes for his 10th win of the season. It's all after the game in high definition, only on NESN.
Well, it is starting to rain here at Fenway Park. Well, actually, that looks more like a mist. I'm going to go with you on this one, because normally you tell me that's a mist, not a rain. So I'm going to say it's a mist.
And I'm going to say Mike Timlin's into the game for the 11th time this season. Last time out in Arizona, the 1 inning allowed 1 hit and an earned run. Of course, to pick that ball up and threw it away at first base. Only 9 2/3 innings so far on the season for Timlin.
Comes on for Joel Pinheiro, who went to 2 innings and was charged with 3 runs. Giving up 3 hits, no walk, struck out 3. Timlin will face Brad Hopp with a big 3-run home run in the 5th inning off Kurt Schilling. 1 for 4 tonight. 41 RBIs on the season for the Rockies right fielder. Timlin's the 5th Boston pitcher of the night. Lined into right field, a base hit. Hopp didn't wait around right after that first pitch. And for the Rockies, their 14th hit of the night.
Well, we're seeing a much different offensive lineup tonight, aren't we, than we did last night. Very quiet last night against the knuckleball from Tim Wakefield, but very strong in this game tonight.
So Hopp aboard, and here is Ryan Spilborghs, the designated hitter. The 14 hits tonight for the Rockies, but Spilborghs does not have one. He is 0 for 4 in the game, ground out and 3 strikeouts. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
We also happy to announce, as we look at LaTroy Hawkins,
Adam Jupiter has become engaged. He is off the market,
which is going to be terrible for a lot of young ladies. I mean, there's a big one going off the market. Big fish out of the pool. The shortstop Lugo on the high hop goes to second for the force out for the first out of the inning.
We got that breaking news early yesterday morning from Adam as he made the proposal, I guess, on Sunday evening. And Adam, of course, our associate producer and very close friend of all of us, is going to take the plunge. He's going to take it. And congratulations to he and Ashley, and I hope it lasts.
What do you think? 6 months, 8 months?
No. This is knowing Adam. I don't know Ashley real well, I can be honest with you, but knowing Adam, this is going to be a lifelong thing. I really feel.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like Tom Brady getting engaged. I mean, there's a lot of broken hearts around New England.
Yeah, I see a lot of comparisons between Tom Brady and Adam Jupiter.
But they'll get over it eventually, the ladies. Ashley locked them in.
And what a catch. So. Congratulations, Ashley. And good luck to Adam and Ashley. That's great news. It's terrific. 1-1, the count to your Victoria Block.
I wonder if Adam got down on one knee. Did you get down on one knee, Adam, to propose? He did. He got down on one knee.
I believe.
Gave her a big ring the size of like a coconut.
Pitch inside. It's 3-1.
We've had a lot of different announcements in this 12-2 game tonight.
Right field, J.D. Drew back a step. And there's 2 down here in the top of the 9th.
I'm anxious for them to set the date, and I hope it's at a time where we can all attend the wedding, because I would love to see that. Ron, his dad.
Yes, the super agent Ron Jupiter.
That's going to be one heck of a time. I'm thinking December sometime. And I think I'll still be in the country at that point. I think.
Really?
I'm not sure.
Troy Tulowitzki bats with, actually this is not Troy, this is Sean Barker, who bats in the spot. Number 9 spot. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Timlin strikes out Barker. It ends the top of the 9th, but it's 12-2 Rockies. Bank, the official bank of the Red Sox cable network. Honda, Pepsi, Bacardi, your local Lincoln Mercury dealers, and by Southwest Airlines. 12-2, the Rockies on top as we head to the last half of the 9th inning. And a new pitcher on for the Rockies there, 4th of the 9th, so Troy Hawkins.
Hawkins making his 17th appearance for the Rockies, an 0-3 record, all those appearances out of the bullpen.
275 batting average against LaTroy.
Not pitched in the last 5 games, 6 days. Last time they used him, gave up a solo home run to Lance Berkman of the Houston Astros. Mirabelli sends one foul to begin things here in the bottom of the 9th. Doug batting for the first time tonight, came on for Jason Varitek 2 innings ago and hits at 193. Mirabelli 0 for 3 here last night as he got the start. Of course, with Tim Wakefield pitching. Jorge Julio worked the 8th inning. 1 inning, no hits, no runs, a walk, and a strikeout. That'll be Josh Beckett, 9-0 with a 2.88 earned run average against Jeff Francis, a left-handed 5-5 with a 3.81 earned run average. A 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 call over the outside corner. Mirabelli's gone.
Well, this bullpen has done a very nice job tonight for the Colorado Rockies. Well, the Red Sox scoreless. A couple of innings by Buchholz, Julio for an inning, and now Hawkins with the leadoff strikeout on the curveball.
One down for Alex Cora. Got to start at second base tonight. 1 for 3 in the game. Single back in the 4th inning. On the line at third, but foul. Bruce Fleming had to get out of the way first, then makes the foul call.
Well, Bruce has avoided getting hit now 2 games in a row behind the plate last night, which is always a troublesome spot, and avoiding a couple of ground balls, line drives tonight. So we wished him good luck last night. So far it's been good. I'll tell you, in games we've had, he's taken some nasty foul balls and has never left the game.
I was just going to say, and stayed in there. This one fouled off to the left, couple off the forearm.
I forget where we were. It might have been Tampa Bay. He took one off the arm, and you could see it just swell up before your very eyes.
Unbelievable.
And
it turned purple in all kinds of shades.
And just no problem. Let's go. Let's play.
Outside, 1-2 now to Cora. Chop left side. There's Carroll on the run and in time. 2 down in the 9th. So 2-way, and it brings up Julio Lugo here in the 9th inning. Lugo tonight 0 for 3. He's fouled out, struck out, and fouled out again. And he takes ball 1 from LaTroy Hawkins. Troy Hawkins spending most of his career, of course, as a member of the Minnesota Twins, breaking in 95, was there through 2003. But since then, a couple year stint with the Chicago Cubs, part of a year with the San Francisco Giants, and last year, the Red Sox saw him as a member of the Baltimore Orioles. Actually, was used as a closer by both the Twins and Cubs at different stints in his career. 28 saves for the Twins back in 2001 and 25 saves in 04 for the Cubs. Fly ball out to center field. And the wind's going to knock it down. Barker comes in, recovers, and makes the catch. And the Rockies come away with a victory in impressive fashion. Big offensive numbers for them tonight. 12 runs and 14 hits as they down the Red Sox tonight.